There we go.
There we go. Okay, what's up, everybody? We are here with Elizabeth, who has been with us since January or February?
Yeah, late January, early February.
Late January, early February. So like 4 months-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been crushing the program. So we wanted to interview her and just kind of find out her feelings, how things have been going, and have her share her story. So first of all, Elizabeth, will you kind of tell people about yourself a little bit?
Yes, certainly. So actually, I never know what to say when people ask this. I feel like my life is pretty ordinary. So I'm not married. I don't have kids. It's just me and Kayla doing this. I like to garden. I have some chickens and my cat. I work full-time doing employee relations and HR. It's very draining. So yeah, I have a big family. I'm from Southern California originally. So yeah.
Yeah. What's your cat's name?
Ivy. She's named after Poison Ivy.
Oh, she's orange, isn't she?
Well, she's not a redhead like Poison Ivy. She's brown. She's like a Torby, like a tabby tortoiseshell. She's very fluffy. She's outside right now. Otherwise, I'm sure she would make an appearance on camera.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
She's cute. And how many chickens do you have?
6.
6 chickens.
6 of them.
You have plenty of children.
I have 7 things that rely on me for their survival.
That rely on you, not counting your garden.
That's true. Or my indoor plants. Yeah.
See? There you go.
Yeah.
I like it. So what was life like before joining the program? Like what prompted you to seek help outside of what you were doing before?
Yes. Okay. I have so much to say about the contrast, so I'll keep it to the main points. So you are probably the 6th or 7th personal trainer or coach that I've had. So like I didn't grow up athletic or active at all. I was a bookworm and still kind of am. Again, I come from a big family. My brothers had done sports. I had a sister or 2 that had done water polo, but like I did band, so that was the exercise I got. Always felt awkward, wasn't coordinated. And of course, as I got older and moved out of the house, I started putting on a little bit of weight at college. I had this girl, I don't know, she was probably studying exercise science, and I hired her to be my personal trainer. And, we did some exercises. I can't remember what it was, but I do remember I was thinking about this call coming up, and I remember she gave me this book of recipes, and I started doing things like eating peanut butter toast with bananas and cinnamon, which is delicious. There's hardly any protein. And then green smoothies, which were spinach and bananas and frozen fruit. Again, not terrible, but spinach doesn't have that much protein, Anyway, so, but I had kind of started experimenting with working out, getting some exercise in, whatever. And then I finished college. I went on a mission for my church, came back, and I will talk about this. I started getting really bad abdominal pain, and it wasn't just around my menstrual cycle. It started getting more and more frequent and really super debilitating until in 2016. I called an ambulance and I went to the ER because I just could not move, right? And it turns out I had super bad endometriosis. And I had a big surgery and I went on this awful hormone medication. And anyway, then I really started to gain weight. And I also was very stressed and I was eating my feelings all the time, whatever the feelings were. I had a lot of milkshakes. They were very good. Still love milkshakes. Anyway, so yeah, I started gaining weight, like slowly, but very steadily. I remember I talked to a doctor one time about it and he was like, oh, that's just normal. Like Americans, we just put on a couple pounds every year. And I was like, well, this is like more than a couple pounds, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I do remember like thinking about food all the time, just like stressed about like what I was going to eat next and like having cravings and I want to eat this, but I don't want to eat too much. And I know I shouldn't be too restrictive. And of course, you know, like I used Noom, which tells everybody they should eat 1,200 calories and even doing 1,400 calories. And, you know, learning how to count macros with carbs and fats and proteins. I saw quick results, quick weight loss, but like not sustainable at all. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anyway, so, you know, things like that. And I'd had like some other coaches, personal trainers that I worked with. But I just like never really stuck to a regular workout program. So anyway, that's what it was like. Obviously, lots of other really fulfilling areas of my life that I loved for sure. So then I like started being more interested in powerlifting. Not that I ever wanted or planned to compete. It was just fun, right? Like it's fun as a woman to be able to be strong. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, so I realized at the end of last year, so like in December, that I needed a lot of help with my form. So I started looking for an in-person coach that could come to my house. I live out in the boonies. There's like nobody here. There was one gal that said she could, but she was going to do the same programming, including meal plan that she gave to all of her clients. And I was not interested in that at all. Like been there, done that, you know? Mm-hmm. And then about the same time, importantly, I found out that I have a super high genetic risk for Alzheimer's. I already knew it ran in my family, but now I saw like I have 2 copies of the ApoE4 gene, and I was like, okay, it's time to stop messing around. Like I got to get serious about my health. So I think it was it Kara that dropped your name in that Eagle?
I think so.
Yeah. And we connected and it's been super awesome. It's been really awesome. Like really awesome. So
what made you jump in? Because you've had a lot of experience with lots of different people.
Yes.
You know, in lots of different varieties. And so I think a lot of people come to and they're like, well, what's different about this?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And so
oh my gosh. Okay.
I'd love to know.
Yes. So like I had that one gal in college, like I mentioned, right? And she's great. She's just starting out herself, right?
Yep.
And then I had 2 different personal trainers at Vasa at the big commercial gym out here in Utah, right? And they were great. It was fine. But again, like I don't think the programming was super customized. And again, like you're going to a crowded gym. Anyway, and then I worked with one gal who, again, like I don't think she was super experienced. She did functional fitness, a lot of like TRX bands and stuff out of her garage gym. And then I had a gal in my neighborhood who I worked with. She had a Curbs gym recently, and it was good. She made exercising pretty fun for me, which was a big step. But it like wasn't the programming that I wanted. To be honest, like some dysfunctional messaging around diet as well there. So yeah, so I've tried a lot of people. So what made the difference is I was hesitant. My biggest hesitancy was that this would be virtual coaching, right? Mm-hmm. But I was like, well, like I have to do something. And I asked you, like, how much experience do you have being a coach? How long have you been a coach? You said 13 years. And I was like, oh, well, that's cool. She's got a lot of experience doing personal coaching. And you yourself are a power lifter, which is what I wanted. You offered customized programming. So yeah, the powerlifting and the customized programming and the fact that you had been a coach for 13 years, I was like, just try it, And like I already knew. The thing is too, like I had tried so much on my own that it wasn't like certainly strength wise, I was a beginner, but like I feel like I knew in theory a lot about what to do,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. Like we talked on the phone and it felt good. And you have an option to sign up for 18 months. And it was well below what I had budgeted per month for sure. Like about half
That's
of what
awesome.
I budgeted per month. Yeah. And the 18-month option too, like really took the pressure off of trying to achieve immediate results, right? Because I feel like this is pretty common, but I like struggle sometimes with like perfectionism and you have to do it right away. And it's like, well, if I have 18 months, like who cares if I mess up the first 6 months? I'll have a whole year after that, Like
Exactly.
you can do something in 18 months. So it was comforting. It's been great.
What's been different about our program compared to other ones?
Oh man, you know what? Okay, someone said this in one of the other, because I was like watching other interviews to prep for this one. And somebody mentioned this, but they were like, you do the programming, so I don't have to worry about that. Number one, so like some executive function, some decision making, I don't have to worry about. I just tell you what I want, and like even recently we talked about shifting gears. Like maybe I don't want to do powerlifting consistently going forward. And it's like, okay, yeah, we can change that, So like, you just put the workouts in and I do them. I do like the Trainerize app that you use too. There's videos I can watch. Even though it's virtual, like you're so responsive on the app messaging. Like I said this to you before, but I feel like I'm your only client because of how responsive you are. And
I hope everyone feels that way.
Yeah.
I'm on the right track.
Totally. Yeah. I have never felt like you're too busy. I've never felt bad about asking you a million questions or whatever. Even the other day, right? Like you're not a life coach. Okay. I don't know what you call yourself, personal trainer, health coach, whatever. But I was like, Kayla, I'm so stressed and I keep overeating candy and like, what is going on? And you're like, okay, tell me what you're stressed about. And even just by running through that list of stressors, I realized something else that was huge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so even just having that interaction, and again, it was super quick, super responsive. So just having that interaction like helped me realize what was stressing me out. I thought about how to get more control over that situation and it's been fine,
Yeah.
The meal planning, I mean, it's not meal planning, right? But that's customized, right? Like the nutrition is customized. You have great ideas for how to do stuff. You have lots of options, right? Like you offered to try and see if I felt better with more carbs versus more fat or whatever. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. And you're like, okay, so, I mean, you're very knowledgeable. Like I definitely consider you a subject matter expert also, for sure.
Good.
Yes. Yes.
Fooling you. Just kidding. You think, no, I would hope so. 13 years later, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What results have you seen?
Okay. This is so excited because when we planned this chat, I had not gotten this lab work back.
I know.
So yeah, I mentioned like for the last 10 years, my weight has been steadily creeping up. Okay. And I was just a few pounds from being clinically obese, you know, which like say what you will about BMI, but it was mostly fat. It wasn't muscle. Okay. So with that, of course, were like my cholesterol was getting really bad. Last year, my triglycerides were way out of range for the first time. And my cholesterol had gotten worse over the last few years, right? So anyway, so after spending the last 4 or 5 months packing in the protein, trying to get more plants in, still got to work on that, but it was better eating way less milkshakes. My cholesterol is pretty much all back within normal range. My LDL is just a little bit out of normal range, but maybe even today it's back in normal range. Who knows? My triglycerides are down like 100 points and they're in normal range. So that is super awesome. And I'm losing inches on my body, which is also awesome. I was about to have to buy bigger clothes again when we started working together, but now they're a little bit loose.
I buy smaller clothes now.
Yeah.
Stuff to go shopping.
Yeah. Exactly. My skin is better. I'm sleeping much better. I feel better in the morning when I get up. Like obviously my weight is down, but importantly, I know I'm shedding fat, which is important, not just because of how your body looks, but like all these health factors that are connected to fat and the hormones stored in there. So, and I'm off of my antidepressants. I was on Lexapro and I tapered off and I'm all done with that. So,
yes. Well, you did that kind of before. A little.
Well, I did it before, but it was like I was sick. I was doing it when we first started working together, and then it didn't go super well. So then I did it again, tapered off more slowly, and now it's done. So
now it's done. Awesome.
Yeah.
So what would you tell someone? They're watching this. They're like, I don't know. What would you tell them? They're thinking about it, but they're not 100% sure yet.
Okay, I have a lot to say. Okay, here's the thing. I can remember recently I was sitting down with a couple girlfriends and one of them was talking about doctors are just pill pushers and insurance companies don't want you to get healthy. They just want to sell you medications and big pharma and all this stuff. And I didn't say this, but I thought, the thing is we know what to do and we're not doing it, right? We know conventionally, right? We got to eat better and exercise, right? We got to clean up our diets. We got to move more. And of course, the way that you frame that is eat and train, which I love. I love so much. So it's like if the reason that doctors prescribe statins and pills and insulin and all this stuff is because we don't make those lifestyle changes. But their job is still to save us, right? And try to get us healthier in spite of ourselves. So if you want to stick it to big pharma or whatever, get healthy on your own, right? Like you can make the changes and you know that you need to do that. And it hasn't happened yet on your own. So you need to do something different. So hire a coach. Yeah. And Kayla is a great coach. And I know that because I've had several coaches, right? And I'm so excited. We still have over a year together.
We're just getting started still.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is awesome.
That's what I would say. And definitely like the 18-month thing is you know, for me, it was super well worth it, affordable for me, well under what I had budgeted. And I will say this as well, like, this is not a crash diet program, right? Like, we've been together for 4 months and I've lost 10 pounds and I could have lost more, right? But like, I still have a milkshake every now and then because this is not a crash diet program and it's super sustainable. So sustainable, right? So yeah, that's what I would say. Invest in yourself and take action. That's what I would say. Take action over the Western lifestyle.
I love how you framed that, because I think, yeah, if you want to stick to them, just get healthy.
Yeah,
I love that. So if you are watching this and you're interested in learning more about how we can help you specifically, just comment below and I will reach out and have a quick chat with you. We can get you started for free for everybody that's watching this. We do a fat loss shortcut, and so we'll go over our fat loss simplified guide, and I'll just outline which habits you should focus on based off of a quick assessment we have you fill out. Or we do have our 28-day kickstart. If you're not sure and you want to test us out first, it's only $47. Or if you're like, no, I want what she's got having, then we can talk about the one-on-one coaching and see if it's a fit. But I appreciate Elizabeth jumping on here and chatting with me, and we'll let her go party with her chickens. And we'll chat with you all later.
Thanks, Kayla. Bye.
Thank you.